Oh, Lieutenant Tommy, if the South was so outnumbered and outclassed, how come the war lasted 5 years? A, Union incompetence, but I'll get there. B, it wasn't 5 years. It was just barely over 4 years because the war doesn't start until April of 61 and ends, basically a little after June of 1865 when all the final things and stuff and shit and surrender. But that's beside the point. In any case, you got to look at the facts here. For the first year and a half to 2 years, Lincoln was actually doing a soft war approach. He was trying to coerce the South to come back in, and he was trying to prevent the border states from seceding. So he was willing to throw anything at the wall to stick to preserve the Union, which is why he said, I'll keep the Union if I can free the slaves. I'll free them to end the war. If I have to not free them to end the war, I'll not free them to end the war. And that's why I have to listen to lost causers bitch every other second saying it wasn't about slavery because C. Lincoln said he didn't care. But that's not the point because they didn't fire the first shots and the South did and they seceded over slavery. But I'm getting off topic. Back onto point. Now, in 1863, when the Emancipation Proclamation goes into full effect, he transitions from a soft war to a hard war where he actually uses that slave labor against the South and continues to fight. He then stops his bullshit ideology of putting really crappy generals in place. I mean, McClellan did nothing for 2 years. He replaces that with Burnside, who then decides it's a really good idea to storm a stone wall, but only send like a regiment at a time, and that was really stupid. And then he replaces him with Hooker, who was undermining Burnside the entire time and was a big reason why the fiasco at Fredericksburg happened to begin with. But on top of all of that, once he finally puts Grant into place, it's only barely over a year that the war is finally ended. And on top of all of that, it's basically a large siege where you have to slowly strangle the South, who's not willing to stop fighting. And it takes a little bit of time because siege isn't a quick type of war. It wasn't going to be a single battle and the war is going to be over because apparently white people really wanted to own slaves really, really bad in the South at the time.